What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. Today, guys, I would like to talk about these cities in America. I know that nationwide there was the Senate and governor, particular voting blocks happening, elections happening. I believe the Republicans control the Senate, Democrats, House Representatives. If I got that wrong, let me know. But one of the things I want to talk about are Democratic cities. Democratic cities, which ones are those? Chicago, Detroit, Akron, Ohio, Youngstown, Cleveland, Atlanta, Houston. What do these cities all have in common? Little Rock, Memphis, they're all Democratic cities. All right. Democratic cities with a large black population and a lot of black apologists, right? And Republican cities tend to be more safe. Republican states tend to run in surpluses in comparisons to Democratic states. Because, let me tell you this, right? People hate Republican and conservative policies. But now, where are everybody from California going? Where are they going? They're going to Republican states. Californians are fleeing to Texas, Florida, Tennessee. Why? Because Democratic states are too expensive, and I'll say it, typically too violent. Right? But also want to talk about why black Democratic cities stay in that abyss of criminality. And it's stuff like this video I'm going to play right here.
Black on black crime is an idea constructed specifically for the purpose of keeping white people afraid of black people. There's no other legitimate reason to even bring up black on black crime. I grew up in a place that was 99% white. In my lifetime, every person who was ever murdered there was a white person who was murdered by another white person. Every crime I ever knew of was a white offender against a white victim. But how many times was it ever described as white on white crime? No times. We understand that in our white community, crimes are committed by white people against white people they live near. When Senator Rand Paul got his butt kicked by Rene Boucher, his neighbor, in his gated community, we all understand why it was a white guy who beat him up. Because that's who lives near him. But I think there's a subconscious reason why we as white people so quickly default to the idea that black on black crime just doesn't make sense. I think it's because we grow up understanding that ideally people of color should unify to defend themselves against systemic oppression.
And blacks like to hear this, especially from whites, because when whites kill each other, we don't call it white on white crime. But when blacks kill each other, we call it black on black crime, right? Blacks like to hear this as talking points. But I want to deal with what happened here over Chicago. Dozens shot in Chicago weekend violence, including a 12-year-old girl struck in neck during morning drive-by. Chicago man, 64, among 6 murdered in shootings over the weekend, right? So when you want to talk about these kind of criminalities and stuff, a lot of liberal blacks are gonna stay away from this. What's gonna make them feel better is, well, let's compare it to when white folks do it. White folks shoot each other also. That is a very true statement. But it also makes the black communities in Democratic cities not want to fix the underlying issues. What are the underlying issues? Okay. And can you see this level of criminality amongst, let's say, poor Republican states? Let's say Kentucky, one of the poorest states in the union. White Alabama, right? Poor Republican states. Do you see this sort of criminality amongst white Republicans? States in poverty? No, you don't. It's not near the case. Why? Because the family structure that is occurring amongst blacks in Democratic cities They're not obligated to change anything. And Democratic leaders never want to fix the problems. And blacks, typically, in the communities, as a people, we tend to want to try to compare things to what whites are doing, when people cannot even come outside with their children. Imagine if you're a 64-year-old Chicago man, all right, shot during an attempted robbery at a supermarket. Okay? He dies. You have juveniles, 5 from the age of 12 to 17, wounded. Okay? 16-year-old boy on the 7,000 block of South King Drive, also shot. But nobody wants to deal with this, do they? Nobody wants to deal with this. Why don't you want to deal with this, people? Anybody want to know why? Do we know why? Because then it puts the mirror in our face that, you know what? The black community is not doing its job in dealing with its problem. I'm gonna say it again. The black community is not dealing. It's not dealing. We are not dealing with the problems that are at hand. And we're playing the blame game. Every chance that we get, oh, it's the white man. Oh, it's this man. Oh, it's that man. What? Like, who cares? Whose man it is? Okay? Does it matter? We have criminality on this level because we don't offer our people resources to achieve anything. That's why. Okay? And you can get away from it if you want. If it makes you feel better that your mom can't walk outside, that your mother or your sister can't go outside. If it makes you feel better, cool. I'm all for it. If it makes you sleep better at night, that your son or daughter is walking down the street and gets shot on accident, like it happened with Brother Takeoff in Houston, another Democratic city, who apologizes for black dysfunction, fine. If you like it, I love it. Make it that way. It's okay. Really, it is. At every chance, if we want to blame why blacks are not accomplishing what they should be accomplishing because of racism, fine. We're going to continue to go backwards, 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 never going forward on anything that we do. Will we continue to beg for everything, getting nothing? And if you want to do that, it's okay with me. Like I said, I'm not mad at all. I'm not mad. If this is what you want to do, if it makes you feel better, fine. Just know that you're never going to improve. We will never improve, and people will not take us serious. Long as we know that, I have no problem with it. Long as we know that. Are folks gonna take it serious? Hell no. Absolutely not. Never. In a day? Hell no. Are we gonna have anything? No. Don't even think about it. No. So, okay, fine. Do what it is that you want. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe, hit the bell, check out the first comment at the top, and as you know, the buffoonery remains at an all-time high. I'm out.